Alright, welcome back to another Play Arts Kai Metal Gear Solid 5 action figure review. Wow, that was a really lame intro.
Hey guys, welcome back!
Anyway, I hope you're not tired of these yet, because these are pretty much, for the next couple months, gonna be like the only figures I really buy. Because I really love this line so far. I've always been a big Play Arts guy, but now the Phantom Pain figures are all really, really great, so I'll probably be picking all of them up and doing reviews on them. You know, I already did one on Venom Snake, on Quiet. I have Skullface, I might do him, and I've got Ocelot on the way, so Ocelot you're definitely going to be seeing. But as for right now, what we are going to be talking about is this character here. This is the Man on Fire, also known as the Burning Man, also known as, well, play the game, you'll find out who this guy is. I guess I'll try not to give too many spoilers, but it's gonna kind of be hard to talk about that. But, yeah, so let's get started. So first off, what I want to talk about is the size difference between this character and all the others. You can see here we've got Skullface, who I'd say is probably like average size, and he's got a hat on, so that gives him a little extra height. But you can see just how much taller the Man on Fire is from Skullface. He is a very, very large, very imposing figure. Definitely one of the biggest Play Arts figures that I own. So let's talk about a look at character. He looks like he's been ripped right out of the game, like most of the Play Arts figures. I mean, this figure looks great. I was a little worried looking at pictures of him, and this video probably won't really do him justice either, because I was worried that the colors was going to be a little bit too faded, and the fire effects wouldn't look that good. But it looks really, really good in person. This is the kind of figure that you need to hold in your hand before you can tell if you like it or not. Which, I mean, for the price of these Play Arts figures, maybe isn't great. So, if you're not going for the full line, I'd say this character isn't even really that important, because he shows up like 3 times in the game. And, you know, he's not a big part of the game. He has got really, really great detail all over. This is where the spoilers are going to kind of come in, so if you don't want to be spoiled, quit now. Just stop. So, this is Vulcan from Metal Gear Solid 3, and you know that he had, like, a bandolier across his chest. You could see it here. It's been burned into him, right here, because he kind of blew up, kind of caught on fire at the end of Metal Gear Solid 3, and then when they brought him back, this is kind of, you know, this is what he looks like. So you could see his outfit here. It's all charred. This is how people figured out that the Phantom Pain was a Metal Gear game before it was announced as a Metal Gear game. It was because the Man on Fire has the same outfit as Vulcan. Like, you could see here, he's got the orange rings there. The big dead giveaway was the bandolier with the bullets and everything. In his head, he has a bunch of bullets sticking out to kind of go with the demon theme of the game. How Snake has a piece of shrapnel in his head to look like a horn. He's got 2 bullets protruding out of his head that look like horns. Really cool. He's got a really great demonic-looking face. He doesn't really look like Vulcan. There's no real likeness there. So, you know, you don't really need to do that. This figure comes with something that's really cool, which is these little accessories here that make it look like he is burning and on fire. These are not pieces that are on the figure right off the bat. Those you actually have to put on there. They're really not that bad to put on. Those you just kind of clip on. There's a spot where they just fit right in there, and those are really good. However, this one, to get the one, like the kind of mane of fire on the back there, you have to take off his head and his 2 arms. You have to take those off completely. And I do not like figures where you have to do that, especially Play Arts, because they are very finicky. I could not get this arm to come off for the longest time. I spent maybe a good 15 minutes trying to get both his arms and head to come off. So I will never ever be displaying him with anything other than the fire chest. So, you know, even if I didn't think that this looked cooler, I would never go back and switch it because of just how big a hassle it was to get that off. As I said, the detail on the suit is just phenomenal. You can see there's kind of like little bits of like running plastic, almost running paint. It looks really great. It looks charred. Again, this looks better in person. Here, this is a really cool touch. This is the kind of detail you can't really see in the game because you never really get a good look at him. At least standing still, you know, you don't have the opportunity to look at his arms like that. You can see those are like charring. It looks like magma's kind of going through it. And here, this is another trademark of Vulcan from Metal Gear Solid 3. He would put the bullets in between his fingers, and that is one way you could display it. You could have him have an open hand, you could have it like that. I like it like that. This is one of my favorite little accessories that he has here, is this open hand where he's carrying the flame. I think that looks really, really cool. And that is how I like to display him. You could have him pose a lot of different ways, like you can have both his hands like that. But personally, I really, really, really love that little flame look. I think it looks really cool. And like I said, the main draw of this figure, if he didn't have the ability to make it look like he's on fire, I probably wouldn't have bought this. Like, just default man on fire does not look all that interesting. And if you're gonna display this figure, you gotta have him with the fire. Like, come on, dude. He's supposed to be on fire. Why would you not make him look like he's on fire? It's silly. Play arts, this should have just been the default. You shouldn't have had to make me waste 20 minutes of my life trying to get his arms off. One of my few complaints with this figure, and it's kind of honestly with most play arts figures, is he doesn't stand up very well. Doesn't matter how I pose his feet, he just does not like to stand up. So the thing I have to do is I have to kind of pose him against the wall. Like, he has to be leaning against the wall, otherwise he won't really stand up all that well. This is him standing. For some reason, every single play arts figure I've ever gotten, they do not stand correctly. Or at least most of them. A lot of them do. But it seems to only be the Metal Gear characters, actually, that need a little more assistance standing up. But that's really the only real complaint that I have with this figure. On the back, he's got more detailing, you know, it goes around, some more flame effects, some more bullets. He got his tight little butt there, you know. Vulcan's, do we got the booty? Oh, Vulcan got the booty. This doesn't look great. The joints there and the legs, I mean, that doesn't look great, but you really, why would you be looking at this figure from the back? Besides, of course, his fucking booty, you know, come on, man. The Phantom Pain line seems like it's kind of dying down a little bit. Vulcan, Ocelot, DD, and the third child are the only ones that are remaining, I do believe. I would love it if they announced some more. I would love to have Miller from Phantom Pain, because he's got a really great design. I wouldn't mind Huey, honestly. Huey would be good. But I think the one figure that they have not yet made and haven't announced or anything is Eli. I think Eli would be a great, great addition to the Phantom Pain Play Arts Kai line. So that is it for Play Arts Kai Man on Fire. Oh, you can't even see that. Probably the next video you'll see from me is the Ocelot. As I mentioned before, I got him on the way. He should be arriving in a couple weeks or so. And then after that, it'll probably either be DD or the third child, and then that's pretty much it for the Phantom Pain line. There's another big boss in his sneaking suit from Phantom Pain, but I really can't justify buying a fourth big boss, because I have Big Boss from Phantom Pain over here. I don't know if you can see him, but I have the sneaking suit from Ground Zeroes, and then in his box, just because I don't need to display 3 of them at a time, I have the Peace Walker Big Boss. And I really, really, really just cannot justify buying a fourth Big Boss when it'll essentially be the same head sculpt, you know, probably the same gun, and it's just a different sneaking suit. And by the way, the sneaking suit looks just like the sneaking suit from Metal Gear Solid 1, and I already have Solid Snake, so I'm good with this guy here. I really don't need another big boss. But anyway, see you next time, and remember, you're pretty good. It's a little... It's because Ocelot, you know, is supposed to be a joke. God, turn this thing off.